Welcome to the Lovers Lounge podcast, where we talk to experts and other guests on topics related to love, relationships, and sex. I am your host, Tina Love, and on this episode, we have Tammie Holland. Tammie, she's no stranger to me, but she may be to you, so let me introduce her, please. I'll tell you a little bit about her. She is a 29-year St. Louis media veteran, the owner and founder of Tammie Holland Public Relations. It's a certified minority and woman-owned business enterprise. Prior to THPR, Tammie hosted live radio entertainment programming to a 45,000 plus member audience for iHeartRadio. She's been heard in St. Louis on the Tammie Holland Show on 100.3 FM The Beat. And in 2019, she joined forces with the Brown and Crouppen law firm. Now, her B&C produced TV show, Win the Day with Tammie Holland, highlights positive people and good news in St. Louis and Kansas City, Missouri. The program can be seen on YouTube and on Facebook. Welcome to the Lovers Lounge podcast. Tammie, come on in.
Hi, Tina. That was a
Yes,
lot.
that was
Hi,
a
thank
lot.
you.
Yeah, well,
It was a lot.
it's a lot because you're a lot. You you
Wow.
you are just a star, and I want everybody to find out more about you. So I'm so glad to have you
Well,
on the show.
well,
Um,
thank you, Tina.
yeah,
Thank you.
we talked about this a while ago when I was preparing to start the show, and voila, you're here. So I couldn't be
Yeah,
more excited. Yeah. So
I'm excited too. Thank you.
yeah. So first of all, Tammie, you're doing a lot, like you said. So and I'm so proud of you. We worked together back in the 90s at KXOK FM, and then I left the business and you continued on. So I've said a little bit about your background already, but I want to hear from you. I want you to tell me about your journey. So after KXOK, where we met, you then started working for Clear Channel and iHeartRadio. So walk me through, how you got to this point where you are today.
Oh my goodness,
Yeah,
Tina.
it's a testimony. I know.
That's a crazy walk back.
I know.
There's so many, but I um
Go on, tell
I
me. Tell
I
me.
uh
Yeah.
I spent so much time obviously in my career with iHeart. That was obviously previously Clear Channel, then J-Core, and did some work with Channel 5 for a while in St. Louis, and some time with Lutheran Ministries. Crazy, but and a wonderful experience nonetheless. But some work with them. So I've just been busy since we were together at KXOK, and
Right.
I think this is probably the first time that I've heard your voice since then. It's been
Yeah.
a long time. I'm so happy to connect with you.
Yes, it's been a long time. I didn't think I'd ever be, back on any airways,
Oh,
but I'm glad. And,
well. Well,
and
you've got a great show, and I'm happy to be here. Thanks so much. I have to tell you that I have really been nervous, though. I'm like,
why?
oh my goodness, Tammie, because Tina, you're likely to ask me anything.
Well, and I plan to, but it will be harmless. Trust me. I will not hurt you
All
at
right.
all. You can trust me.
Woo,
But at any rate,
Tina girl.
yeah. So
Mhm.
you work you did show with Tony. I remember that, and then you did your own show, and then
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
left, and then I think I heard a little bit about your testimony of running into Brown and Crouppen and how that all happened. So can you just share that with me? Because I thought that was
Yeah.
just a wonderful testimony.
Yeah. I loved your intro. You added those extra years on me.
Yeah.
But after, after so many years of working in radio, I had that big walk down the hallway, the hey
Yeah.
Tammie, we love you. It's been a great ride, but we're moving in another direction, conversation.
Yeah.
And so there I was, looking for something to do with my hands and looking for something to do with myself. And I got a phone call from Terry Crouppen, so I got let go on a Friday, and I got a phone call from Terry on a Sunday, and he's like, you know what, kid, don't worry about it. We're going to figure something out. And so what I'm doing now is that figure something out, and it has been a marvelous, marvelous ride. I absolutely love what I'm doing right now. It's very different from anything that I've ever done, and given the circumstances, obviously COVID has changed the way so many of us are doing media now. It's
Yeah.
it's still been a rewarding experience in trying to be creative and trying and searching for content that people would find engaging
Right.
and meaningful. So I'm really happy right now. I'm in a really good place,
I can
Tina.
tell. I can tell. And we're going to get into that. Now, just so that the audience knows, because people listen to this show all over the world. Terry Crouppen is a lawyer at Brown and Crouppen Law Firm. And so
Yeah,
he knew
yeah,
you from maybe working through the
yeah,
station and doing
yeah,
some advertising and stuff with his law
yeah,
firm. And then
yeah.
he called you on that Sunday and said, it's going to be okay.
Yes, yeah.
And
Yeah, exactly. That is exactly what happened, and it was so special because, and so as I told the story, I kind of really kind of for the sake of time, just kind of kind of discounted that experience, but it was really a sort of a miraculous kind of intervention or experience, I should say, that
yeah,
we've had this connection all these years, but it was truly one of great respect in business. But it's the fact that he would have, heard about me losing my job and saying, hey, you know what, I value you and I recognize who you are and what you bring to the St. Louis market. I'd like to work with you. That's basically what he said.
yeah,
And I appreciated that. I respected that so much. So,
right.
hey, yeah.
So at that point, did you know what he meant or where he was going with this? Because now, his law firm helps to produce the show that you're on and, highlighting St.
The
Louis and
Emmy,
Kansas.
the
Yeah.
Emmy Award nominated
Yes,
program. Yeah,
yes,
I
yes.
know it's crazy. Yeah, at that particular moment, no, I don't think that we knew what this would be,
Right.
and we're still trying to shape and work with this with BC what BCTV is. But at that moment, no, we just kind of had some ideas, and together with his son Andy Crouppen and Ed Herman, they shaped a pretty special piece of work now that's being mirrored at law firms all over the country now, and it's really awesome to see.
I love it. And if you're in St. Louis, you are bound to see a bus with Tammie's little cartoonic picture on it. But I mean, it looks good. It's great. It really looks good. And you'll
Thank
see
you.
her face on billboards, on buses and billboards and everything all over St. Louis, Missouri. So hats off to you. Great. And
Thanks.
great
Thanks.
job for Brown and Crouppen
Thank
for,
you.
seeing into you and your talent and your skills and deciding to work with you. So that's awesome. All right.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And then along the way, you've had a little baby girl who is now like what, 15, 16 years old.
She looks like it, but she's just 14.
Oh, okay. I thought she was about 15, 16. She's 14.
Yeah.
And
Right.
and,
Right.
and
She's
every
very tall.
yes, and every time I see her, I'm like, okay, that's Tammie's little mini me because she looks just like you. So how has motherhood affected you? Like how has it changed you? Or, you know, what has it done, for you now
Oh,
being 20? Yeah.
motherhood has made me a much better person.
Yeah.
I'm so much better having given birth to that awesome human being.
Yeah.
She is. She gives me great energy. She gives me great advice. At this point, she's my fashion expert. At one point I thought I really knew it all, but now having the perspective of this teenager has
Uh-huh.
been quite refreshing. So
Right.
no, my life is wonderful having been her mother. Was it challenging or has it been challenging as a single mother pretty much the whole time? Sure, it's been challenging, but
Right.
rewarding nonetheless. Totally rewarding.
Of a girl, and she's 14, and so now she's probably moving into like the boys and the dating and all this kind of stuff. So how is that for you? Because I didn't have a girl, I have a boy. So
Yeah,
but I always
it's
yeah,
yeah, it's a little different, and especially now with
yeah,
with this COVID situation and everything. The kids. I feel very sorry for them. They want to connect. They want to be out and they want to connect with their peers, but they don't. They don't have an opportunity to do so. I mean, those of which come from environments in which they recognize the importance of taking social distancing important, but I don't know. Yeah, we're at an interesting stage in our lives
yeah.
with this road to being and becoming. It's
Mm-hmm.
very different from when I was, her age. I didn't have all of the stimuli. I didn't have all the, the cell phone and, all of the tools
Yes.
to communicate. So, it's an interesting journey for me to observe on this side,
Uh-huh.
and
Uh-huh.
but still, I give thanks.
Right, right, right.
Let's just say that. Let's just say that.
Yeah, I've seen her sort of be your coach, because oftentimes on Facebook, I'll see your live Facebook, and you do your tastings with the restaurants and different things like that. And I kind of see her as being your, she's kind of a coach to you. She tells you, okay, mom, like don't do that, or whatever. And so I think that's really cool. That's neat. I love it.
Mm,
I love
thank
to
you.
see that.
Thank you.
So
Yeah.
no, go
Oh, I'm
ahead.
sorry.
Go.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, Meadow is a student at an art school in St. Louis, and she's very, very creative. She's,
Yeah.
she has a great eye for so many things, and so I respect her opinion, and I like to take her opinion on things that she can see how it might impact others, so that she could be courageous enough to do those things on her own. So it's all work here, but it's a wonderful journey.
Yeah. All right. So speaking of journey, we're gonna keep on journeying through here because there's some deeper questions and things I want to get into. But before we do, you have to clarify pronouns with people in these days. Your pronoun is she and her, right? Is that right?
Yes,
All right.
yes,
And you are heterosexual.
yes.
Yes. Okay. So we just want to make sure because, I don't want to assume anything. I want to just throw out, that you'd be interested in man when maybe you won't. So what I'm saying, I'm just
Okay,
wanting to make sure.
okay.
These days, you got to keep it plain and make sure. So you're not married. You didn't get married in the time that you and I kind of lost contact. I haven't heard of you being married or anything to anybody. No
Mm-mm,
wedding took place that I missed, right? Okay.
mm-mm, mm-mm.
But is there a special someone or are you dating or pursuing a special love? What's happening with that girl?
No, there's no special anyone in my life right now, and then I think that it would be quite difficult right now, as it really is
Mm-hmm.
difficult to find connections right now with our current situation with COVID-19 and social distancing. So, maybe my heart will reopen and allow for something like that to happen once the coast is clear. Let's just say
All
that.
right. Well, and that's what I want to get into. So once the coast is clear, I want to talk about maybe moving forward, if that's something that you'd be interested in. But I know even with having a teenage daughter, 14, and thinking about dating, does that kind of make you a little bit nervous? I know I've talked to some moms who maybe single moms, they have teenagers and they're like, well, I think I'm just going to wait until she goes or he goes off to college and then I'll pursue dating because I don't know that I can handle both. What do you think? What's your take on that?
Well, I like to keep it a little low key with her,
Mhm. Mhm.
but we're so close. We live in very close proximity to one another, so there are very few secrets here. And my life is so not exciting, really. It just looks like it, but it really isn't. So, if there's any moment of joy, my goodness, she'd know about it all. So, no, I try to keep things pretty low key
Yeah.
with her because I do know that she's watching,
Yeah.
and that's really important to me. And I just really, I'm at a stage in my life right now where I don't have time, Tina. It's like I want, like anybody else, I'd love to
Right.
be in a healthy relationship right now.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I just want to live and see the other side of this COVID-19.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well, all I know
totally.
is when I see you today and I see you on Facebook and your posts and everything, you are certainly living. You are having a blast, it looks like. I think in the very beginning, we were all kind of down and not understanding.
So I was so down.
I know I saw you. I saw you. You were really struggling in the beginning, but lately, I don't know. I've seen a different you. Like it's just you are just blossoming. Something is happening. I don't know what it is.
No.
Some people are like,
Oh,
it's the hair, it's the braids, or whatever it is. I saw
oh, that's
you,
so sweet.
yeah, I saw you dancing around in the rain with your umbrella. I saw your, I think it was your birthday video. Like you were having well, actually, I
Yeah,
think Meadow did your photo shoot or something on your birthday.
she did. She did do that. My creative girl did that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So
You know what, Tina?
yeah,
I'm experiencing right now just true ultimate joy and gratefulness. I am living and being present in my moment.
yeah,
I recognized a long time ago that life is never going to be just absolutely perfect, and I can't wait for this, this idea perhaps that maybe one, like a single person might hold on to, like waiting for something. I have to live right now in my
that's right.
moment, and so I do as I please, and I please myself, and I try to create a world of just love and joy and exploration for my daughter, and I just live, girl. And just lately, I think with the pandemic, really what has happened is that I have a new perspective.
Yeah,
It's that I think about death every day, and not
yeah,
in a morbid way, but
right.
just I think about death every day, and that you know what, nothing is promised to us. So
Absolutely.
I just wanna live, and I just want to be happy. And at that moment, the video of me dancing in the rain, that's just what I felt like at that moment. That's just what I felt like doing.
Yeah.
That's just who I am.
Yep, I know, I know, I know. And I saw you and I thought, look at her. She is just having a blast. And then I think I saw something recently where you decided that you were going to start trying to pay attention to your weight. And although I don't know why, because you've always been small, but at any rate, you're like, well, I looked at the scale and I was almost, and everybody's thinking about these pandemic pounds. I know about those, right? And so
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
all trying to take care of ourselves. And I see you doing that too. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Just like so many other people, I really was so very afraid, and I just went through so many really odd and just uncomfortable emotions at the beginning of the pandemic. So give or take, like March through May, I was in the house.
Yeah.
I was, I buckled down. I got everything delivered to me. I did everything from my bedroom to the kitchen to the bathroom, and down the hall to the trash chute, for crying out loud. So I was just absolutely paranoid about leaving. So I don't know. I have to live. You just have to live.
Yeah. Yeah. And we need to. We need to. We shouldn't let this keep us, when I say this, the situation keep us from living, do what we can and enjoy. Because like you said, life isn't promised, right? Life isn't promised.
Right,
So
right,
not
right.
not long ago, I think I heard you say something about when Reverend Run from Run DMC was in St. Louis. I think he did what was it, a book signing or something with his
Mhm,
wife. They had a book.
mhm.
And did Reverend Run tell you that this year you were going to meet that special person? And if so, tell me how that happened. How that go down?
So people just don't. Rapid Run has this really interesting prophetic gift,
Uh huh.
and I had some really private conversations with him, and then a public conversation that I had with Reverend Run during a an interview that we did for his book in St. Louis, and he said, Tammie, basically, and I'm paraphrasing it
Right. Right.
and adding and maybe taking some things away. Like I do declare that this will be the year, Tammie
Uh
Holland, that
huh.
you will, you're going to meet your husband, and and he started describing this man and what it would be like and what I would be like, and I'm like, oh, you're crazy, and I'm thinking, you know what, I have to, I would love that. I
Yeah.
would absolutely love that. I mean, I'm at that point in my life. I'd like to be booed up right now, but
Yes.
I'm like, in order for me to manifest that, I have to believe that. So
Eh,
I'm believing that that's going to happen, even in the midst of this pandemic.
that's right.
It's
That's
going
right.
to happen.
Call those things that be not as though they were. Yes, even in the
Right, right,
midst
right,
of this. Right, right. So
right.
it's interesting though, because being a well known person in St. Louis, do you find it sort of difficult then to meet people and date? I mean, you probably are known by everybody, right, in St. Louis. So how does that affect your dating life and trying to, have a true and meaningful relationship?
You know what? This is weird for me. I think it might be weird for other people because you know what? Everybody in St. Louis, we're all connected. We're all cousins.
Right, right. It feels that way, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the way it is. I know everybody,
Right.
and everybody knows me, and it's it's like I need some. I like to be excited. And that and I shouldn't say that because that would be offensive to all the single men in St. Louis, and that's not what I mean. That's
Okay. So
I
break
know
it
that
down.
they're
What do you mean?
wonderful.
What do you
I
mean?
know that there are wonderfully exciting single men in St. Louis. I don't know. I haven't met him yet, so let's just say that I've not met him in St. Louis yet. So
Right, right.
you know,
Yeah, because I don't
to this,
know.
yeah.
Yeah, to me, if I guess I'm looking at you and how well known you are, and you're right. Everybody seems like they know everybody, but even more so for you because you've been on the air in St. Louis for many years. People would hear your voice every single morning or afternoon, depending on what time they were listening, and they kind of feel like they know you, and so you really can't go anywhere without somebody looking and knowing who you are. And then I would think that maybe there would be some concern about, is he pursuing me because he knows who I am and what I've always done? Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, do you kind of get the sense of, wondering whether or not these people really genuinely are interested in me, or are they just interested in, well, telling people I'm hollering at Tammy. I'm hollering at Tammy Holland. You know that girl. What do you say? What do you
You're
think?
funny. You're so funny. You're
I'm
so
just
funny.
saying. I'm just
Well,
saying.
the
Really.
the first part of that of your question,
Yeah.
I absolutely positively love St. Louis, and those who have, as I would say in my radio vernacular, those who would have rocked with me all those years, they give me so much space and so much room, and they've always been very, it's like we're family. I had my baby on the radio for crying out loud. So
Right. Right.
it's like, we're all in this thing together. It's been a beautiful relationship that I've had with, just thousands of people in St. Louis. So and to answer that part of your question, people give me space, you
Okay.
know.
Good.
The second part of that is that, I have, my own, preferences and likes and dislikes and wants and needs. And,
Yeah.
I am the captain of my ship. So I determine who, I want to spend my time with. And I just have not connected with that person yet. So I'm
Okay.
just,
All
just
right.
waiting.
Yeah, well, we're going to get into your likes and dislikes. That's exactly where I'm going. But before I do, I want to just ask you this question. Would you consider meeting someone outside of St. Louis? So, say, for instance, if somebody lived in Indiana or Indianapolis or Chicago or Tennessee, what do you say?
Well, sure, but I'm also I'm very much of a realist. Long distance relationships are very very difficult to maintain. Two people, you've got to really really want it. Relationships, relationships that happen face to face are difficult enough, but then throw in, some thousands of miles, 3 hour plane ride, that can make things pretty difficult, and it could place a strain on a relationship. So, not to say that I'm not open to the idea. I'm just very realistic of how most outcomes happen. So at this point, if I'm going to date someone that lives, not in St. Louis, I would have to have a clear understanding that I'm dating with the idea in mind, perhaps that maybe I might want to get married to you,
Yeah. Yeah.
if
Yeah.
this works out,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
I don't want to waste, I just don't want to waste
Your
time. I
time.
just don't.
Absolutely. I'm kind of smiling because I won't. This interview is not about me, but I'll just say this. I am currently, in a relationship that we're not in the same state. And five
Mm-hmm.
years ago, when I met him, I thought this would never work. This will never work. Like, because we're not, around the corner or, a few miles away from each other, but it has.
Mhm.
So I'll just say that. All right. So,
Well, good,
um,
good.
challenges, we talked a little bit about, thinking about some of the challenges of motherhood and dating also. How do you tend to meet people then, Tammie? Would you consider meeting people online? Have you done that before? What? Yeah, what do you think?
I laugh when Meadow was very, very small. So it was right after I separated from her father. I thought that I would try eHarmony because I
Yes.
really liked their commercials. I
Yes.
like, every time it would come on, I start singing, ooh, 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 ah, oh. I would just, I'm like, oh, okay. So they have good theme music.
Yes.
I so need to join them. I need to be on eHarmony. So I got on eHarmony and I was filling out all of this. The profile was just like bananas. It was like all of these questions, and I
Right.
finally got to all these questions, and they matched me up with all of these different people, and it was just overwhelming. And I was in a really awkward place one day, and I came face to face with someone that was on eHarmony with me, and I'm just thinking, you know what? This is not my life. This is not what I want for myself. I'm a public person and I cannot be on eHarmony.
Yeah.
I just can't do this. So I deactivated my
Right, 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 right. It's
account.
kind of weird. It is kind of weird. I mean, but they have so many
Mhm.
different types of online dating sites now, not only eHarmony, all this Match.com and I don't know, Tinder, Plenty of Fish. I don't know how many. Our Life.
I don't do any of that.
Yeah, yeah.
And not to say never, but at this point I can say with firm conviction
Right.
that I would not do any of those things.
And that is
Mm-mm.
because you just really want that connection. If you want to be able to actually meet that person face to face first. Is that it?
No, I did no. I don't have
You just
time
don't have
for all of
time.
that.
All right.
I just don't. Just it's just too much. I don't want to. I don't want your good morning bay text.
Yes.
I'm so busy.
All
I
right.
just don't want it. That's not for me. It's
Mhm.
not for me.
All right. So now what kind of guy would you consider, or I won't say that you're looking for right now because we've talked about the fact that you're kind of waiting but you want to have a relationship soon. So what kind of guy are you looking for? Now, maybe first of all, let's talk about you, your personality. Your birthday's in when?
I'm May 20th.
Okay, so that is
I'm a Taurus. I'm
you're
a
a
Taurus person.
Taurus. That's right. Okay, so you're a
Hmm.
Taurus. Yeah, because you had your birthday not too long ago. So how would you describe your personality?
I am whatever they say in the books about a Taurus woman. That's who I am.
And
Seriously.
you read
Yeah.
those, and you're
Read
like,
them
that is exactly you.
and just with the comma put like and stubborn
Oh,
Tammie,
okay.
like that. Very
Okay.
loyal
Okay.
Tammie,
All right. All right.
I love beautiful things around me. That's very much a Tammy thing. I'm very creative.
Okay.
I'm a homebody. That's a really interesting aspect of my personality because I connect with, thousands and thousands of people, but my inner circle is very, very tiny.
Mhm.
And I tend to move in ways in which I like to believe that I'm being private. you know,
Right.
um, yeah, but yeah, that's the story. I'm sticking to
Okay.
it.
Okay. All right. So then have you ever taken like any Myers-Briggs or any disc or anything that really tells you about your personality and anything like that? Like like
Oh,
are you an INTJ,
no, no,
ENFP, whatever
no.
all
I
those?
think maybe so I don't, I should go ahead and finish them, but I never get to the end of them. So that would tell a lot about my personality that I can't even sit through a personality test. I just don't have time for it. I just don't have time for it.
There it
So
is.
whatever personality that is, that's who I
You just okay, you don't
am.
have time. Okay, all
I
right.
just don't want to. I don't.
Okay. So then let's talk about the guy. Let's talk about the guy. Do you have a type? Or do you necessarily even know what kind of guy sort of is compatible with you? Like, what would you think would be a good compatible person to you?
So obviously, I've been able to give some thought to this
Good.
question.
That's
Yeah, just
great.
a little
That's
bit. I mean,
great.
just not just for the purpose of this interview, but just in general.
Great. Go
You know,
ahead.
and I'm not coming from a narcissistic place. It's just, it is what it is. It's
Yeah.
who I am, and I liken myself to a star. So I'm a star, and I need a moon. You know,
Ah.
I can shine brightly on my own, but I'm looking for the safety and the comfort of a moon. I like a little that light from the moon to guide me. And I think what has happened traditionally in my relationships is that, partners may confuse that needing to guide as a need to control or to be perhaps maybe a little abusive, perhaps.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I'm just looking for that balance. I'm just looking for that moon.
Okay. All right. Somebody that just kind of compliments you,
Yeah.
the balance. Like, okay, because I know you to be, or I remember, and then I'm looking at you every day on Facebook, and I know you to be like this hilariously funny person, like full of laughter, fun, cute as can be, right?
That's
So,
so sweet.
so would that then mean that your guy maybe not necessarily be exactly like you? So you're looking for some balance. So would that person then sort of probably be more of the quiet type because you're more of the out there fun extrovert?
No,
What do you think?
no.
What do you think?
It, the man who would be perfect for me has his own thing.
Uh-huh.
He has his own light. And
Okay.
so the two of us being together just ultimately complement. He doesn't need me to shine. And
Ah,
I won't need him to shine because I shine on my own. But together we'll be just absolutely fantastic. So the man who will be with me will understand and know that sometimes I might want to dance in the rain with an umbrella, you
yeah.
know. So he needs to understand that that's just who I am. That's just in my spirit, and that's just who I will always be.
Right.
So
Okay.
that's who I need right
All
now.
right. So when you walk into a room, right, is there a certain type of gentleman that you're drawn to that when you see this person, uh, they catch your eye? Is there this look or something where you tend to kind of zero in on this type of person? I don't know. I'm just asking. Just asking.
Yeah, you know what, I think that's so like hard to explain for me, but
Okay. Well,
I
just
just
try.
really love a very strong and assertive personality, but not an outwardly boisterous
All
personality
right.
at all.
All right.
Although I do enjoy a funny man and a man with quick wit, or a man with a good sense of humor, but I tend to like someone that gets the joke, privately, and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I like him to be a little on the cool side, but goofy on the inside, like me.
Okay. Okay.
Hmm.
Little on the cool side, but goofy on the inside. Is there
Yeah.
yeah, is there an exterior look?
No, I don't know.
No?
If we were to go
Short,
and do like a flip
tall,
roll, no, I don't do that
muscular,
anymore.
athletic build.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't do it.
Good.
It's just I know what I feel like at the moment. It's like I know, when you lock eyes, or you have an experience. You just know. You just know.
All right. You just
Yeah,
know.
I'm very open in that respect.
All right. So now I want to move to this. I want to talk about, you've had some past loves, I'm sure. Um, and lessons, that you've learned that sort of shape you where where you're going moving forward and what you will tolerate and what you won't tolerate. So
Sure.
let's talk about that. Um, what were some things that you have learned in your past loves that you believe have given you insight as to moving forward, what you'll accept?
Oh,
Yeah.
to trust my instincts. That's
Yeah.
number one,
All right.
and to be true to myself. Life is so short, and if it doesn't feel good to you, oh my goodness, why should you do it?
Mm-hmm.
If it doesn't benefit you, why should you be involved with it? And that's just the way I approach a relationship.
Hmm.
So,
Hmm.
I look at relationships like cake. Like I can have cake by itself and it's still delicious, and cake being life and relationships being icing. I could have the icing by itself and I can love it, and I could put the icing on the cake and it's all together and fabulous. But I can do each of them by themselves easily. That's just the way I look at stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. And what are those things that just turn you on? Like the things that just really stick out, when you see this, you're just like, yes, I like that. I like that in this guy. Or I like, that's somebody I want to be around. Like what is it? What is that
No,
thing?
I think an ultimate gentleman, someone who's assertive and a take charge type of a person, someone who's a troubleshooter, a thinker.
Hmm.
That to me is an ultimate turn on. Someone who's smart. He doesn't have to be Harvard educated.
Right.
I'm not talking about that kind of smart. I'm just intellect. It's just it's a complex and beautiful thing. Just as long as he is a smart man. I just love a smart man. I
Okay.
love a generous man. I love a
Good.
man who's very nurturing and protecting. I just love that. I just think that's absolutely wonderful. So that's what I like.
See?
That was, if in your words, would turn me on, I
All right. See,
guess.
that's what I'm
That's
talking about.
funny.
See, I wanted you to kind of drop down your barriers and tell me, give it to me, Tammy. Tell me what it
Uh-oh,
is. There
Tina, I'm scared, Tina. I'm scared, Tina.
don't be
Wall up,
scared.
wall up, wall
Don't
up.
be scared because look, there could be your Prince Charming could be listening to this right now. Like this guy could be admiring you from afar and maybe has for a long time, but just didn't know if he was your type. So, come on now,
Okay.
you gotta share.
Okay,
You gotta
Tina.
share. All right. So red flags. What are some red flags about men that you have learned, you see, you're like, no, What are some of those things that you say, when you see this, you're this red flag? No, no, no. I don't want to have I can't handle it.
Immediately for me is that they appear to have no roots, no connection, no real bond to people.
Hmm.
They
Okay.
they seem to be isolated and on islands, by themselves. That's someone that I would not easily connect with. I absolutely adore my family. So, even if he would not have a large family, if there's someone within, his circle of influence that he finds of great importance and even value. I mean, yes, value indeed. So, I need that person to really understand and respect and find family of ultimate importance.
Okay.
So if this person does not, then that person would not be able to connect with me. Someone that would demonstrate any type of disrespect of women is not something or someone that I would find attractive at all.
Hmm.
I love myself so much. I don't want someone to hit me. I don't
That's
want
right.
someone to say bad things to me unless unless I wanted him to. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right, right, right. Okay, we're gonna stop laughing.
Right.
All right, yes. Anyway, so yeah, so I get it. I get it. And here's something else. You have a really good friend that's a male friend. I'll be honest with you. When I saw you on pictures when I first made it back to St. Louis, and I saw you on Facebook with this guy, I'm like, oh my goodness, Tammy has a boyfriend. She's finally gotten. I thought you were married to him, but this
That's
is a
so
good.
funny.
Yeah, this is a good
That's
friend
so
of yours.
funny.
Is that correct? It's a good friend of
Yeah,
yours.
Vincent. Vincent
Yes.
Llewellyn is my best friend, and
Yes.
we do share a chuckle. Vincent came into my life at a time in my life that I really did not want to connect with anyone. Vincent was a beautiful, faithful, and just loyal and wonderful friend, and the best plus one like ever. There's no pressure,
Yeah.
but I have the most handsome man on my arm.
Yeah.
We are just tick for tack. He is my. We are Bobby and Whitney without the drugs and death.
I know,
We are
I
just
know.
absolutely just perfection in a friendship. And I think that it was confusing for a lot of people for a number of years. And I think for a few years, it didn't really matter to me because I just wasn't in the mood to be bothered. I just didn't want to be in a relationship. So
Right,
I
right.
was okay with the confusion. But yeah, I could see how some would believe that Vincent would be my boyfriend, but he is
Yes.
not. He is
Yes.
still my best friend.
Yeah, I would see you guys on pictures, and I mean, and it's like you are yin and yang. Like I can see you guys have a really good chemistry, and you really, know each other very well. And it's just like, yeah, I saw that, and I was like, oh. And then I think somebody said, no, no, that is her friend. I know
Yeah,
him. And I'm like,
yeah,
oh, okay.
yeah,
I was all excited.
yeah,
So anyway,
yeah.
all right. So it's going to be very important then that whoever you meet is able to handle the fact that you have a best friend that is male. That's another thing that's very important, right? Somebody that's secure to
Yeah,
handle that
yeah,
relationship because you're pretty close.
sure,
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, he'll know, and yes, that would be very important to me.
Yeah.
That I do want my lover, the man of my dreams, to uh, love also my friends,
Yeah.
and especially my Vincent.
Yeah. All right. So now, professionally, what do you got coming up? What's next? What's next for you professionally? What are you aspiring to do? Like, what are some of your dreams? What are you wanting to do professionally
Thank
besides
you.
the
Well,
show?
first,
Yeah.
thank you so much. So first and foremost, I just want to survive COVID-19.
Right. You
I
will.
just want to
You
just,
will
yeah, I just
survive.
want to, thank you so much. I just want to get through this. But professionally, I'm looking towards a lot of entrepreneurial ideas and explorational, experiences, to not just be of benefit to myself, of course, but to be a blessing to other people. That's just how I've always lived my life.
Right.
That mantra. If I can help someone, then my living is not in vain. So the next year, the next quarter, perhaps, just spending a lot of time really soaking in some entrepreneurial ideas and hoping to see them into existence. So that's what's coming up.
All right. Well, I'm pretty excited. I can't wait to see. And so, how can listeners get in touch with you? So, you're on Instagram and you are on Facebook, but maybe just for exclusive friends or, so please do tell, how can people get in touch with you?
Oh, thank you. Every week I post brand content for my show this week with Tammie Holland,
Yeah.
powered by Brown and Crouppen. I post that content to Facebook, and I would just love to have more friends on my Facebook page. And of course, you can reach out to me there. It's this week with Tammie Holland on Facebook, and then on Instagram, it's just this week with Tammie. So find me there and keep up with me so that I can share the good news that I come across in St. Louis and Kansas City, and now coming up Kansas and some wonderful towns in southern Illinois. So just
Yeah.
looking forward to growing and continuing to do good work with Brown and Crouppen.
Yeah, sounds good. And I want to also say too, your show. Oftentimes, you've been at restaurants or you do like different tastings, and then I've also seen you do some. You've been involved with some political kind of stuff too lately, have you not? Like protests and different
Yeah.
things. Can you just before we
Hmm.
go, kind of tell about that and your
Sure,
yeah,
sure. So I spent, well over 20 years working in radio and within corporate America and an environment that really did not give me the opportunity to express myself and to be free to say I am a proud Black woman. Although I had a microphone, and the microphone that I had was very powerful as I spoke to millions of people over the course of my career. I still was very, very much conservative in my approach to so many things
Yeah.
political. It was always something that I shied away from in my conversations when Tony Scott and I worked together. I just was not that one. I think that perhaps he would have enjoyed a little bit more political banter from me, but I just would ultimately shut down because I was just turned off by it. I just did not enjoy it at all.
Yeah.
So now for the first time in my career and really almost in my adult life, I am working with and for a group of people who encourage me to say I am a proud black woman. This is who I am. And this is what I feel and this is what I believe in. And 9 times out of 10, my perspectives are often not just mirrored but understood by the partners and the great people at Brown and Crouppen. My political views obviously are my own, so I don't speak for the firm in that respect, but I do work for a group of people who empathize and sympathize and completely understand the injustices that are taking place right now against African Americans in St. Louis and, of course, across the country. So it makes me feel good to stand with them as they stand with me.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Tammie.
Oh,
I told you earlier, I'm very proud of you. You're doing a fantastic
oh,
job.
thank
And
you.
yeah, I'm glad that you were able to come on the Lovers Lounge. And you heard it, guys. She can be reached on Instagram and Facebook. And hopefully, you'll get a chance to tune into her show that's on what,
Yeah,
YouTube? They can go on
yeah.
YouTube.
Facebook. Go to Facebook. Go
Oh,
to
okay.
Facebook. Go to
Facebook.
Facebook. Yeah.
Okay.
Go to
All right.
Facebook. Yeah. Be
All
my
right.
Facebook friend. I need all the friends.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much, Tammy, for coming on the show. And listeners, thank you so much for listening to the Lovers Lounge podcast, where we talk to experts and other guests on topics related to love, relationships, and sex. I am your host, Tina Love. And until next time, peace. And of course, please don't forget love.